Chosen one, listen. Heaven has paused everything for you right now. The noise of the world fades, because this message carries divine weight. You were not meant to stumble here by accident. This is a summons from above. You are in danger, not from the weapons that men can form, but from the slow spiritual drift that steals your fire without you even noticing. You've been pulled into routine, into scrolling, into doing but not being. Somewhere deep inside, your soul has been whispering, "This isn't who I am." That whisper is heaven's alarm. There is a war around you that cannot be seen with eyes of flesh. The enemy doesn't always come with storms. Sometimes he comes with comfort. He lulls you into numbness, convincing you that survival is enough. But you were never designed to survive. You were designed to reign. You are the one God marked for this generation. Every tear, every betrayal, every silent night where you asked, "Where are you, Lord?" He heard them all. Not one drop of pain has been wasted. The very moments you thought broke, you were the chisels shaping your crown. The enemy saw your potential and tried to bury you under distraction. But God is uncovering you again. Beloved, heaven is calling your name because your time has come. The reason you feel uneasy lately isn't chaos, it's calling. The shaking you feel inside isn't destruction, it's the sound of destiny waking up. The danger is not the darkness outside, it's your delay to answer the light inside. Don't ignore this moment. Don't tell yourself you'll pray later. You'll surrender later. You'll obey later. Later is how many destinies die. God is not calling you to convenience. He is calling you to consecration. There is something holy waiting beyond your hesitation. You have been asking for a sign, and this is it. You've been saying, "God, speak to me." He's speaking now. You've been wondering why you can't blend in anymore. It's because heaven has separated you for something higher. You're being pulled out of danger, not to punish you, but to position you. Listen, chosen one, you are standing between two realms. One is the comfort of compromise. The other is the courage of calling. Whichever one you feed right now will rule your life. Do not mistake God's patience for permission. He is still waiting for your yes. You've felt surrounded, misunderstood, and tired. But this is not the end. This is the moment the script changes. The pain that tried to break you will become the oil that anoints you. The loneliness that crushed you will become the room where you meet God face to face. The rejection you suffered was divine redirection. Even now, heaven is rewriting your story in real time. The same places that witnessed your tears will soon witness your triumph. The very voices that doubted you will testify of your restoration. You are stepping into a divine reversal where every loss becomes a seed of glory and every wound becomes a portal of purpose. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and give you hope. That is your rescue plan. God is not plotting your ruin, He is preparing your release. The danger is real, but so is deliverance. Heaven is already moving on your behalf. The very hand that formed galaxies is now stretching toward you, saying, "Take my hand and come out." And you can almost feel it, can't you? That stirring in your chest. The trembling that isn't fear, but awakening. It's heaven confirming that this word is for you. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead is whispering, "Rise again." Beloved, you were never meant to die in this valley. The angels assigned to your destiny are gathering. What once resisted you will soon release you. The forces that mocked you will bow when they see what God is doing in you. Your name is being spoken in rooms you've never entered, and doors are unlocking because obedience has found you again. If this word stirred something in you, don't hesitate. Type 777 inches the comments as a declaration that says, "I choose God's plan." Then like, share, and subscribe so that this message of awakening reaches more of the chosen. Heaven has called your name. The rescue has begun. Chosen one. The danger was not meant to destroy you, it was meant to awaken you. You have survived the shaking, and now heaven begins to show you the true enemy, the ordinary, the slow, quiet erosion of purpose that comes from comfort, the invisible chains that look like routine, the dullness that kills destiny without a fight. There is a pattern to spiritual sleep. It starts with compromise that feels harmless. You stop praying as often. You start excusing behaviors you once resisted. You begin to explain away conviction as stress, tiredness, or just life. And before you know it, your passion is gone, but your routine is still intact. That is the trap of the ordinary. It makes you think you're safe because everything looks normal. Bills are paid. People smile. Life goes on. But inside, your spirit starves. You feel like something is missing, but can't name it. You try to fill the emptiness with work, with people, with scrolling. But the hunger grows. It's not hunger for success, it's hunger for purpose. The Spirit is saying, it's time to awaken. You are being shaken, not because you are failing, but because you are fading. God refuses to let your light go dim. He is disrupting your comfort so that your calling can breathe again. You've been praying for peace, but peace without purpose is just sedation. True peace comes when your heart aligns with heaven's rhythm. That's why your comfort no longer comforts you. It's a sign that your old season is dying. Remember when you used to dream, when you used to cry during worship because you felt His presence so near, when you used to say, "God, whatever you want, I'm yours." That version of you still exists, it's just buried under noise. Heaven is peeling back the layers now. Chosen one. You must understand God is not trying to destroy your plans. He's trying to replace them with His. You asked for more, and more requires movement. You can't climb into a new season holding the baggage of the last one. Every time you feel restless, it's not punishment, it's preparation. Every time you lose interest in what once entertained you, it's a sign that heaven is upgrading your appetite. The old pleasures no longer satisfy because you are being retrained for glory. You may think, "But I've wasted too much time." No, you haven't. You cannot be late for what God has ordained. You might feel delayed, but heaven works outside of time. Every detour, every distraction, every heartbreak can still serve destiny when you surrender it. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. That is the secret to escaping the trap of the ordinary. Trust. Trust when you can't see the next step. Trust when the familiar begins to fade. Trust when the silence feels heavy, because trust is how faith breathes. The world wants you busy. Heaven wants you still. The world wants you entertained. Heaven wants you awakened. The world says, do more. Heaven says, be mine. You are being invited into stillness, not as retreat, but as realignment. Do not mistake divine stillness for stagnation. God is working behind what feels like nothing. While you rest in obedience, He rearranges your surroundings, removes counterfeits, and reorders your steps. What looks like pause is often the greatest progress. There will be moments when you crave the old comfort, when you feel like returning to what is easy. Resist that temptation. The Israelites longed for Egypt, even after tasting freedom. It's a human instinct to cling to what's familiar. But you, chosen one, are being called to live by faith, not nostalgia. You will feel the resistance of people who don't understand your transformation. They'll say you've changed, and you have. Light always looks strange to those who've grown accustomed to the dark. Let them misunderstand you. Your obedience is not for their approval, it's for heaven's applause. You are stepping into a season where mediocrity cannot follow you. The Spirit of God is rekindling hunger inside you, shaking you awake from spiritual anesthesia. The same God who called Abraham out of comfort is now calling you out of compromise. He's not taking something from you, He's calling you higher. When you feel that tension, don't escape it, embrace it. That's how transformation begins. You're being stretched because expansion requires pressure. The oil of destiny only flows when the olive is crushed. Chosen one, lift your gaze from the ordinary. Look at what's stirring in your spirit. Heaven is whispering, it's time to move. Do not settle for routine when you were born for revelation. The danger of the ordinary is that it feels safe, but safety outside of God's will is just a slower kind of death. Awakening begins when you decide to stop pretending you're fine. It begins when you dare to pray again, to believe again, to hope again. It begins when you choose surrender over survival. This is your awakening hour. The ordinary loses its grip the moment you remember who you are, a chosen vessel, marked for glory and designed for impact. Chosen one, listen closely. You've awakened from the haze of comfort. But now the true confrontation begins. The enemy rarely attacks in obvious ways. He is subtle. He whispers, not shouts. His strategy is not destruction, it's deception. He does not come with a roar, but with a whisper that sounds almost like truth. You've heard that whisper before, haven't you? The one that says, you're not enough. The one that echoes when you're alone. God has forgotten you. Those thoughts don't feel like an attack. They feel like your own voice. That's how he hides. The adversary knows he cannot curse what God has blessed. So he convinces you to speak curses over yourself. The battle of this hour is not outside, it's in your mind. Every doubt, every fear, every replay of failure is designed to wear down your faith. You think it's coincidence that discouragement hits right after progress. No. The moment light increases, darkness sends confusion to cloud your clarity. But chosen one, you are being given new discernment. The fog is lifting. Heaven is exposing every whisper that's been steering your heart off course. God is pulling back the curtain so you can see that not every thought deserves your agreement. The Spirit is saying, pay attention to the voices that echo in your mind. They are either pulling you toward God or away from Him. There is no neutral sound in the Spirit. You've been trained to doubt, but heaven is retraining you to discern. The Word of God declares in the book of John, chapter 10, verse 10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. This is the truth. The enemy tries to hide from you. He wants to steal your joy, kill your peace, and destroy your confidence in God's promises. But you have authority to shut his voice down. You don't fight whispers with silence, you fight them with the word. Speak what heaven says, even when your feelings disagree. Declare life over what looks dead. Speak hope into what feels hopeless. Every time you open your mouth in faith, darkness loses ground. Every declaration becomes a sword cutting through deception. Don't be surprised if resistance increases. The moment you begin to recognize your worth, hell begins to panic. You are not under attack because you're weak. You're under attack because you're waking up. You're becoming dangerous to darkness. The enemy's greatest fear is a believer who knows their authority. That's why he tries to distract you with guilt, shame, and regret. But remember this, when you confess your sins, heaven doesn't shame you, it cleanses you. Grace is not an excuse to stay bound, it's power to walk free. You may still hear the whispers, but they no longer define you. They are echoes from a defeated kingdom. The moment you stop agreeing with them, they lose their volume. When you choose to focus on God's voice, every other sound fades into nothing. The Spirit is revealing strategies now. Begin to guard what you listen to, what you watch, and who you allow to speak into your life. Some voices sound friendly, but carry poison. Some distractions look harmless, but are designed to drain your focus. You must become intentional with your attention, because whatever you give your attention to gains power over you. Chosen one. Your mind is a battlefield, but it's also sacred ground. Don't surrender it to lies. Let worship fill it. Let scripture echo in it. Let gratitude float it. You can't stop the enemy from whispering, but you can stop agreeing. When fear says, "It's over," faith whispers, "God's not done." When guilt says, "You failed again," grace says, "My mercy is new this morning." When anxiety says, "You can't handle this," the Spirit says, "You were never meant to handle it alone." The power of deception is breaking now. You are seeing clearly again. The enemy has no claim over a surrendered mind. You belong to the one who calls you by name, not the one who labels you by failure. Before you move to the next moment, seal this truth in your heart. Say it aloud if you can. Whisper it with authority. I know the voice of my shepherd, and I will not follow another. Now, as a prophetic act of agreement, write in the comments, I choose truth. Do it as a declaration that your mind belongs to God. When you write it, you are not typing words, you are signing a spiritual contract, declaring that lies will no longer rule your thoughts. Let heaven see your agreement, and let hell see your decision. Chosen one. The whispers may continue, but your spirit is louder now. Truth reigns, light wins, and peace begins to rebuild within you. Chosen one. Every time your heart ached, every moment that confusion settled heavy on your chest, heaven was speaking. The voice of God is not always thunder. Sometimes it's the silence that refuses to leave. You thought you were abandoned, but the truth is, you were being called. God has been calling your name through the ache of loss, through the weight of waiting, through the longing that would not disappear. Each unanswered prayer was not rejection, it was redirection. Every closed door you wept over was a divine wall, keeping you from walking into something beneath you. You saw delay, heaven saw protection. When you asked, "Why is this happening to me?" heaven replied, "Because you are chosen. Those who carry great assignments must first walk through great refining." God's silence does not mean he is distant, it means he is working in secret places. You see, when God hides himself, it is not to punish, it is to prepare. The moments you thought he was far were actually when he was closest, like a master sculptor. He withdrew your comforts to reveal your core. Every tear you cried was shaping something eternal within you. Beloved, you were never forgotten. You were being forged. You wanted an answer, but God wanted transformation. You were looking for escape, but heaven was building endurance. The wilderness you despised has been your classroom. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. And, do you see, the promise was never that you would avoid the waters, it was that you would not drown in them. God didn't remove the fire, he made you flame-proof. You have been walking through the impossible and surviving what should have destroyed you because grace has been carrying you all along. There are moments when heaven must strip away every false dependency so that you learn to recognize his voice above all others. When the applause stops, when the people disappear, when your strength fails, that's when his whisper becomes unmistakable. That whisper is not weakness, it's the sound of divine focus. Sometimes God answers you through silence because he wants you to hear what noise was hiding. You prayed for peace, and he took away distractions. You prayed for purpose, and he removed certain people. You prayed for clarity, and he shut every door that didn't lead to destiny. That's not punishment, that's precision. You must understand that divine calling rarely begins with comfort. It begins with disruption. Before God elevates, he empties. Before he releases you into purpose, he removes everything that could compete with it. The waiting room of heaven feels painful because it's where attachments die and true devotion is born. You might feel as if God has been silent, but even his silence speaks. It tells you, trust me beyond what you can sense. Faith is not built on clarity, it's built on trust. The absence of explanation is not the absence of God, it's the testing of your perception. Look back. Chosen one. Every season you thought would break, you actually became the bridge to your next victory. Every heartbreak made you wiser. Every delay made you deeper. You are not behind. You are being rebuilt. You thought you lost time, but heaven wastes nothing. Every hidden season refines your discernment, matures your faith, and strengthens your resilience. What God builds in silence will outlast what others build in noise. And now, the calling grows louder. The tug in your spirit is not imagination, it's invitation. God is saying, come closer. Hear me without fear. You are stepping into a new chapter, one where obedience will replace explanation. Chosen one. Don't resent the seasons that broke you. They broke the shell that kept you from shining. Don't mourn what you lost. Heaven is replacing it with what cannot be shaken. The tears you sowed in darkness are watering the roots of a future you cannot yet imagine. This is why heaven called your name through pain, because some lessons can only be learned in the valley. You will soon realize that every trial has been tailored to your transformation. You've been molded for impact, stretched for influence, and trained for triumph. The silence is ending now. The voice that once whispered in pain will soon thunder in direction. You are stepping out of confusion and into clarity. You are beginning to recognize that what felt like isolation was actually divine intimacy. Chosen one. Heaven has been calling your name not to remind you of what you've lost, but to awaken you to what's coming. You were never abandoned. You were anointed. Every unanswered question has led you to this truth. God's plan has never failed you. It's only been unfolding. Chosen one. Open your eyes now. Can you feel it? The atmosphere around you is shifting. The air feels thicker because heaven is revealing something deeper. You are not just living in a world of people and noise, but standing in the midst of a hidden war. You felt that invisible pull, the strange exhaustion for no reason. The heaviness that creeps in, even on good days. You're not imagining it. You are sensing the clash between two kingdoms, one fighting for your soul, the other fighting for your silence. This is not a fantasy or superstition. It's as real as breath. Every decision you make, every thought you entertain, either strengthens light or feeds darkness. You've been caught between the two, wondering why peace comes and goes like the tide. But now, heaven is opening your understanding. It was written in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. And do you see now? Your battle is not with people. The betrayal wasn't just human, it was orchestrated to test your discernment. The rejection you faced wasn't random, it was designed to break the agreements that bound you to wrong places. You've been fighting shadows, not realizing there's been a hand behind them. But you are not a victim of this war. You are a warrior, crowned with authority and armored with grace. You were never meant to hide from battle. You were meant to carry victory into it. God did not place you in this generation to be silent. He placed you here to shake systems, to expose darkness, to remind the world that light still wins. The enemy wants you tired because tired believers stop building. But strength is coming back to you now, not from striving, but from surrender. Every time you kneel, heaven arms you. Every time you forgive, you sharpen your sword. Every time you worship when you want to weep, the gates of hell tremble. Think of it like this. Your life is a lighthouse in the middle of a storm. The waves may crash, the winds may scream, but as long as your light stays lit, ships find their way home. That's why the enemy attacks your mind. It's your lantern. He wants to dim your hope so others will drift into darkness. But you, chosen one, are called to shine, no matter the storm. Even now, angels are moving around you. Strategies are being unfolded. You felt weak because you were never meant to fight in your own strength. Heaven is teaching you divine strategy. Listen, stand, and speak what God says. You do not need to swing wildly at shadows. Truth is your weapon. Peace is your shield. And praise is your war cry. If you could see what heaven sees, you would not fear what hell sends. The enemy's attacks are proof of your importance. He never wages war against what does not threaten him. The very fact that the fight has been fierce means your purpose is powerful. This is why you must guard your heart like sacred treasure. Be mindful of the voices you let near it. Some people speak like rain, refreshing and life-giving. Others speak like smoke, blinding and suffocating. Know the difference. Protect your peace, for it is the currency of clarity. And as you're reading this, if you feel something stirring inside, a recognition, a warmth, a quiet fire, that's heaven confirming that this is for you. You are part of an army that fights not with hatred, but with holiness. Before you go, take a moment. If these words reached you, if you felt seen, strengthened, or reminded of who you truly are, share this light when you like. You're not just pressing a button, you're agreeing with heaven's message. When you share, you're not promoting a video, you're scattering seeds of hope into timelines that need it. When you subscribe, you're not joining a channel, you're aligning yourself with a movement of awakening across nations. Your engagement is not about numbers, it's about souls. It's about letting heaven's voice echo farther than darkness expected. You are not supporting content, you are spreading truth. Chosen one. Stand tall. Lift your head. You were never fighting alone. The war is fierce. Yes, but the victory is already written. And even as shadows move, remember, the light inside you was never borrowed. It was born from eternity. Keep shining. Keep standing. Keep believing. Your light terrifies the darkness. Chosen one. Now you have seen the battle and felt its heat. You've stood when others fell. Yet your heart still asks, why does heaven feel silent? You pray. You cry. You believe. And sometimes all you hear is stillness. You wonder if God hears you at all. But listen carefully. The silence of heaven is not absence, it's strategy. There is a kind of silence that tests your patience. But there is another that trains your power. The stillness you are walking through right now is the training ground of your spirit. God is not ignoring you, He's strengthening your hearing. He is teaching you to recognize His whisper beyond the noise of the world. When heaven seems quiet, it does not mean you are forsaken. It means you are being trusted. Only the mature are trained in silence. Only those destined for authority can endure the weight of waiting. The Lord hides His voice, not to confuse you, but to calibrate your spirit. In this quiet season, everything superficial begins to fade. The opinions of others lose volume. The approval of crowds no longer satisfies. You start noticing the hollow echo of things that once entertained you. You are not becoming numb, you are becoming sensitive. You are learning to live by spirit, not stimulus. The silence of God is not punishment, it's invitation. It's the pause before revelation. It's the stillness before breakthrough. Sometimes God stops speaking because He's waiting for you to act on what He already said. Why give new instructions when the last one remains undone? Heaven's quiet is often a question, will you trust me even now? The ancient words recorded in the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10 declare, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Beloved, the silence you feel is heaven working behind curtains you cannot see. When Joseph was forgotten in prison, heaven was preparing the throne. When Ruth gleaned in the fields, heaven was writing a royal lineage. When Jesus lay silent in the tomb, heaven was orchestrating resurrection. Every divine delay hides a divine deliverance. You might say, but I'm tired of waiting. Yes, and that's exactly why God is waiting, because He's teaching you endurance. You prayed for strength, and He gave you silence to build it. You asked for wisdom, and He gave you waiting to develop it. Every unanswered prayer is not a rejection, it's a refinement. There's beauty in this quiet space. Even when it hurts, the silence strips away your illusions and reveals your anchor. It shows you what's real. It tests your motives, purifies your desire, and deepens your dependence. You begin to realize that faith was never about getting answers. It was about trusting the one who holds them. The Spirit is saying, stop measuring God's presence by noise. You don't need thunder to prove that He's near. Sometimes He speaks through a pause, a gentle wind, a knowing deep within you. He is not far. He is forming something sacred in your stillness. This season is your cocoon. From the outside, it looks motionless. But inside, transformation is happening. You are shedding the last layer of old identity. You are becoming the version of yourself that heaven always saw. When this silence ends, and it will, you will not just hear God differently, you will become different. Chosen one. You've been faithful, even when the answers were few. You've stood in the dark, holding on to promises that felt faint. Heaven saw it all. None of your faith has gone unnoticed. The silence was your seed. And soon, that seed will bloom into evidence. So, if your prayers still echo unanswered, do not despair. The silence means the story isn't finished yet. Keep your posture of expectancy. Keep your hands open and your heart anchored. The breakthrough that follows silence is always louder than the storm that preceded it. Now, pause for a moment. Breathe. Feel that quiet around you. It's not emptiness, it's incubation. Heaven is shaping something powerful in secret. The same silence that once scared you will soon become the sound of your strength. As an act of faith, write the number 888 inches, the comments. It is a prophetic number of new beginnings and divine renewal. When you type it, you are not performing a ritual. You are declaring, I trust God even in the silence. End quote. Every 888 written becomes a sound in the Spirit, a chorus of chosen ones saying, we are still here. We still believe. Heaven hears it. The silence begins to tremble. Chosen one, you are not forgotten. You are being forged. The quiet is almost over. When the next word comes, it will come with power, and everything that once felt unanswered will unfold in divine clarity. Hold steady. Keep faith. The silence is sacred. Chosen one. The hour grows heavy now. You have walked through silence and storm, through revelation and resistance. And still, heaven whispers, pay attention. This moment is not a pause, it is a warning. Mercy has carried you far, but the time of indecision is closing. You stand on sacred ground, where every choice carries weight. God's mercy is wide, but it is not endless in its waiting. It stretches, it covers, it calls. But when the heart remains hardened, mercy steps back. Not in anger, but in justice. There comes a moment when heaven says, decide. That moment is now. You may not realize how close you've come to spiritual blindness. The longer you delay obedience, the dimmer conviction becomes. What once stirred your spirit now barely moves you. What once made you tremble now feels ordinary. This is the danger of prolonged hesitation. The heart becomes numb while still pretending to believe. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 18, verse 32. For I take no pleasure in the death of anyone, declares the sovereign Lord. Repent and live. Those words still thunder today. God is not trying to condemn you, He's trying to awaken you. But there comes a line, unseen yet absolute, where constant rebellion dulls perception. The door of mercy never closes suddenly, it closes slowly. While people grow too distracted to notice, you have been warned gently through dreams, through inner unease, through messages that seemed coincidental. Heaven's hand has been reaching, tugging, urging. Come back while there's still time. And still, you wrestle with comfort, trying to negotiate obedience. But obedience delayed is still disobedience. Chosen one, you must decide now. Will you stay where you are, numbed by routine, or step into the unknown and trust the voice calling you forward? Every delay carries a cost. The longer you remain undecided, the more the enemy convinces you that nothing urgent is at stake. But everything is at stake. You've been sensing it, the unease, the lack of peace, the restlessness in your soul. That's not anxiety, that's heaven's alarm. When God removes peace, it's because He's protecting purpose. He will never allow you to feel settled in a place you don't belong. Mercy is still here. Grace still reaches. But grace is not permission, it's power. It doesn't excuse rebellion, it rescues from it. God is not interested in your perfection, He's after your surrender. All He wants is your yes. Think of a candle burning in the wind. The flame flickers, dances, struggles, but it never truly dies. Because the wick still holds oil. You are that candle. The wind around you is fierce, but there is still oil in you. The very fact that you are reading these words means the flame has not gone out. Heaven hasn't given up on you. The danger is not falling, it's staying down. The danger is not sin, it's refusing grace. God is not shocked by your failure, He's saddened by your reluctance to rise again. If you knew how much heaven still believes in you, you would stop running and start returning. The line of mercy is not drawn to frighten you, it's drawn to free you. It's a boundary of love, saying, this far and no further into darkness. You are standing at that boundary now, with the light of heaven behind you and the pull of the world before you. The next step determines direction. Beloved, the time for casual belief is ending. The world is shifting. Light and darkness are being separated. You cannot serve two kingdoms. You cannot carry two crowns. The season of halfway is over. God is raising an army of the fully surrendered, and He wants you in it. Do not mistake the stillness around you as safety. Sometimes, the silence before judgment is the deepest mercy of all, a final chance to listen before heaven moves. But the Spirit is whispering urgently, do not wait any longer. Your destiny is not behind you, it's waiting beyond repentance. The moment you say, yes, Lord, I'm done running, everything begins to realign. Doors that were locked will open. Shame will lose its grip. The fog around your mind will lift. Grace doesn't just forgive, it transforms. Remember this truth. The closer you get to destiny, the louder the distractions become. That's why temptation intensifies when you're near breakthrough. Hell always attacks what heaven is about to anoint. Don't let temporary comfort cost you eternal purpose. Chosen one, mercy has not left you. It stands before you now, like an open gate shimmering with light. But you must walk through it. Heaven will not drag you, It invites you. God's love is strong, but his respect for your choice is stronger. Chosen one. Not all peace is holy. Some peace is false manufactured, deceptive, a mask for spiritual decay. It looks like calm, but it's only quiet because your spirit has stopped resisting what it should resist. The enemy's favorite strategy is not always chaos. Often, it's counterfeit calm. You know this peace well. It feels like numbness disguised as rest. You say to yourself, at least nothing's going wrong. But deep down you know something is missing. That emptiness that doesn't go away after sleep or laughter or scrolling, that's not weakness. That's warning. The spirit inside you is unsettled because something false has been accepted as normal. The danger of false peace is that it doesn't break you, it lulls you. It sings lullabies while the enemy steals from you in silence. You stop praying as passionately. You stop expecting miracles. You stop feeling the urgency of eternity. You call it maturity, but it's really spiritual fatigue, wrapped in polite words. The voice of God thundered in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 16. So, because you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I am about to spit you out of my mouth. True peace is not passive, it's powerful. It's not an emotion, it's an atmosphere. It doesn't avoid battles, it wins them. It doesn't deny pain, it redeems it. The peace of God doesn't come when everything is easy, it comes when everything bows to his authority. You'll know the difference when you experience it. False peace hides conviction. True peace sharpens it. False peace dulls your passion. True peace fuels your fire. False peace avoids confrontation. True peace demands alignement. One lulls you to sleep. The other wakes you to purpose. Maybe you've been saying, I just want peace. But have you asked yourself, what kind of peace do you want? The kind that keeps you comfortable, or the kind that keeps you close to God? Because one will numb you, the other will transform you. There are seasons when God will intentionally disturb your comfort to restore your calling. You'll lose interest in things that once thrilled you. You'll feel restless in places that once fit perfectly. That discomfort is divine. It's heaven breaking the counterfeit spell. God is not removing peace from you. He's removing the imitation. He's separating holy rest from spiritual laziness. The peace he offers doesn't hide sin. It heals it. It doesn't excuse delay. It ignites obedience. That's why you feel torn. It's not confusion. It's conviction, pulling you out of the fog. Remember when you used to sense his presence so strongly that your heart burned? When every worship song felt like fire, and every verse felt written for you? That wasn't just a phase. That was your true state, alive, awake, aware. And that version of you is returning. The Spirit is reviving your discernment. You will soon feel it again, the sharp awareness of what's holy and what's not. The gentle warning in your heart when something sounds good but carries poison. The inner nudge that says, don't settle here. That is peace redefined. Chosen one. Heaven is not calling you to comfort, it's calling you to clarity. You are being restored to the kind of peace that terrifies darkness, the kind that makes demons flee when you walk into a room, the kind that anchors you so deeply in faith that storms can only strengthen you. Understand this: false peace can delay your destiny, but true peace will deliver it. You can't walk in both. The lukewarm path feels safe, but it leads to stagnation. The fiery path feels risky, but it leads to revelation. You were not created for still ponds, you were made for living waters. So let the shaking come, let the unease grow. It's not destruction, it's detox. Every area of false security is being dismantled so that truth can reign. God is preparing you for authentic rest, the kind that doesn't depend on circumstances, the kind that flows from communion. This is the peace that Jesus carried in storms, the calm that silenced waves. It's the kind of stillness that speaks louder than fear, and it's returning to you, not as a feeling, but as a fortress. Soon, the calm that follows will not be numbness, it will be knowing. You will not say, "I feel fine." You will say, "I am anchored." You will not drift in shallow comfort. You will stand on sacred ground. The false peace is breaking. The real peace is coming. You are about to remember what it feels like to breathe heaven's air again, to wake each morning not with dread, but with divine clarity. Chosen one, the calm you truly crave is not the absence of struggle, it's the presence of God. And that presence is drawing near again, not to soothe you, but to strengthen you for what's next. Chosen one, now that truth has begun to break through, heaven holds up a mirror before you, not a mirror of vanity, but of revelation. It's time to see clearly not who the world told you you are, but who heaven always knew you to be. The mirror of conviction is not made of glass, it's forged in grace. When God holds it before you, He is not exposing you to humiliate you, He's revealing you to heal you. The world teaches you to hide your flaws, to bury your pain, to perfect your image. But heaven invites you to honesty, because true transformation begins with truth. You can only be freed from what you're willing to face. Conviction is not a spotlight of shame, it's a doorway to deliverance. When the Spirit begins to show you yourself, don't turn away. Don't rush to defend or deny. Stand still and let His light uncover what darkness tried to disguise. The Spirit spoke through the Apostle John. Chapter 1, Verse 9. If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just to forgive us and cleanse us from all unrighteousness. Conviction doesn't come to crush you, it comes to clean you. When God begins to stir your conscience, that is mercy moving. The Holy Spirit is like a surgeon who cuts only to heal, who reveals wounds so that He can restore them. Painful, yes, but always purposeful. Maybe you've been running from that inner mirror, afraid of what you might see. You distract yourself with work, with people, with noise. But every time the music fades and the room grows quiet, you still feel it, the unfinished business of the soul. That's not torment, that's tenderness. God is calling you to face what you've been avoiding, so He can finally set you free. This is the season of exposure, but not exposure to the world, exposure to yourself. God is peeling back the layers of survival you've wrapped around your heart. You've been strong for too long. You've been pretending for too long. The mask of "I'm fine" is slipping, and heaven says, let it fall. You cannot be healed in the dark. You cannot conquer what you continue to conceal. Every shadow loses power when it's brought into the light. And you, chosen one, are being invited into light, not to be judged, but to be renewed. Think of gold refined by fire. The flame doesn't destroy the metal. It exposes the impurities so they can be removed. That's what conviction does. It doesn't declare you worthless. It proves you're valuable. God only refines what He intends to use. There is no shame in being refined. There is shame only in resisting it. The pain of purification lasts a moment, but the purity it brings lasts forever. What God removes now is not punishment, it's preparation. He's making room inside you for peace, for clarity, for greater glory. You will know when conviction is near, because peace will suddenly pause. You'll feel that gentle tightening in your chest, that whisper saying, "This isn't right." Don't ignore it. It's not condemnation, it's correction. The same Spirit that convicts you also comforts you. He doesn't just reveal wounds, He pours oil into them. He doesn't just point to the mess, He helps you clean it. Every conviction is an act of mercy wrapped in divine timing. And when you finally face yourself, you'll realize that God's love was never fragile. It stayed when you fell, waited when you ran, and reached when you resisted. Conviction doesn't disqualify you, it proves you're still being pursued. So let the mirror stay before you. Look into it with courage. Let grace flood the cracks shame left behind. The reflection you see after repentance will not be the same person who began this journey. It will be someone lighter, freer, truer, chosen one. It's time to stop hiding. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are not your mistakes. You are the redeemed, the restored, the rebuilt. Heaven has not only forgiven you, it has rewritten your story. Now, as a sign of agreement with heaven's work in you, write in the comments, "I am clean." End of 10. Type it boldly, not as ritual, but as revelation. When you do, you're declaring, "I will no longer hide from healing." You're standing in the light, saying to darkness, "You no longer own me." Every time those words appear, heaven celebrates because confession is the sound of victory. Chosen one, the mirror remains, not to accuse you, but to remind you of what you've become, a reflection of mercy itself. Chosen one, now that you've looked into the mirror of truth, something begins to stir again, the fire that had been buried under ashes. The winds of heaven are blowing softly over your spirit, and what once smoldered faintly now begins to burn bright. This is not imagination, this is an awakening. The anointing that once flowed freely through your life is returning, but not as it was before. It's deeper, wiser, stronger. The oil that heaven pours now comes through the cracks that pain created. Every scar you carry has become a channel for glory. What broke you now becomes what blesses others. You have walked through deserts where you thought faith would die. But faith does not die in the dry places. It digs wells. You learned to pray with no proof, to worship with no audience, to believe without feeling. And because of that, your spirit is now fertile soil. The next word, God speaks, will bloom quickly, because it will land on a heart that has already been plowed. We are reminded through the writings of David in the book of Psalms, chapter 51, verse 12. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and grant me a willing spirit to sustain me. That's exactly what heaven is doing now, restoring your joy, reviving your willingness, sustaining your strength. Joy is not just laughter, it is fuel. Without joy, faith limps. Without joy, purpose drifts. That's why the enemy attacked your joy first, because he knew if he could steal your gladness, He could dull your gift. But the oil of gladness is returning. Chosen one. When anointing reignites, it doesn't just make you feel better, it redefines you. The same hands that once trembled in fear now heal with authority. The same mouth that once complained now speaks with creative power. The same eyes that once cried in confusion now see with clarity. You are not being repaired, you are being reborn. Your spirit is like a lamp being refilled. Every act of surrender, every whispered prayer, every tear you refuse to waste, it's all oil. And when heaven strikes a spark, that oil will blaze brighter than before. The flame is not for display, it's for direction. Your light will show others the way out of the dark. Sometimes you'll wonder, why me? Why did God choose you to carry such weight, such calling? The answer is simple. Because you said yes when others said no. Because even in your brokenness, you didn't stop believing. Heaven doesn't choose the most perfect vessels, it chooses the most willing ones. Picture your life as a field after a storm. The trees are bent, the ground is torn, but the soil is richer than ever. What looked like destruction was preparation for growth. That's how the anointing works. It comes after breaking, after loss, after surrender. You are not empty, you are being refilled. You are not behind, you are being accelerated. You are not forgotten, you are being remembered by heaven itself. And soon, your voice, your story, your presence will begin to shift atmospheres. Wherever you go, people will sense something different, not performance, but power. And when they ask, "What happened to you?" you will simply smile and say, "God happened." Before you go further, pause. Feel this truth settle in your heart. You carry light again, and when light returns, it's meant to shine. Let it spill into the world, into every dark corner that once made you afraid. So, if this word stirred something within you, if it felt like your spirit exhaled for the first time in a long while, let that light move outward. When you like this message, it's not an empty click, it's an echo of gratitude. A small act that says, "This light matters." When you share, it's as if you're lighting another candle in someone else's night. You never know whose midnight will become morning because of your spark. And when you subscribe, you are saying, "I will stay connected to the flame that fuels my faith." Your engagement is more than support, it's stewardship. Every time you help spread words of awakening, you partner with heaven in keeping others from forgetting their worth. Chosen one. Your anointing is reigniting not to make you famous, but to make you fruitful. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead is breathing through your purpose again. You will not fade quietly, you will burn with holy brilliance. The embers of yesterday are becoming the wildfire of tomorrow. Stand tall, shine freely, and let the world see what restoration looks like. Chosen one. With every awakening comes resistance. The moment your spirit reignites, darkness notices. When light grows brighter, shadows grow bolder. This is not punishment, it's confirmation. What you feel pressing against you now is proof that what you carry is powerful. When you began to walk in your renewed strength, did you notice how suddenly conflict arose? The unexpected tension in relationships, the emotional storms, the unexplainable heaviness. It all appeared because you started shifting atmospheres. You are no longer a bystander in the spiritual realm. You have become a beacon. And darkness always tests the light it fears. You see, spiritual warfare is not always dramatic. It doesn't always appear as chaos or noise. Sometimes it looks like weariness that won't leave, like discouragement that appears without reason, like sudden doubt about things you once knew with certainty. These are not coincidences, they are strategies. The enemy knows he cannot destroy your destiny, so he tries to distract your focus. We are reminded through the writings of Paul in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 4. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. That is your reminder. Chosen one, you are not defenseless. You carry divine weaponry that cannot fail. Every time you choose faith over fear, you swing a sword. Every time you speak truth when lies tempt you, you tear down a fortress. Your silence in worship becomes warfare. Your peace in storms becomes a proclamation that you belong to a greater kingdom. But still, the battle is real. You'll wake some mornings with a heaviness you can't explain. You'll face opposition from those who don't understand your new strength. You'll feel pressure from systems that resist your integrity. Yet all of this is refining, not ruin. God allows resistance so your muscles of faith can grow. Think of the eagle. Before it learns to soar, it faces the wind head-on. The very gusts that could knock it from the sky are the same winds that lift it higher. Likewise, your opposition is not meant to crush you, it's meant to carry you. Every gust of adversity you face is heaven's way of teaching you how to ride the winds instead of fearing them. And when you fight, remember this: the greatest victories are won in unseen places. The loudest wars are not the ones fought in crowds, but in closets, in quiet prayers whispered through tears, in choices made when no one is watching, in forgiveness given when bitterness seems justified. Chosen one, you are not fighting to earn victory, you are fighting from it. The cross has already sealed the outcome. Your role is not to panic, but to persevere, to hold your ground until what's written in heaven manifests on earth. Sometimes the warfare will come through people close to you, not because they are evil, but because the enemy uses familiarity to test your heart. He will send frustration to provoke you, misunderstanding to discourage you. But you must learn to see beyond faces to forces. Love the person, resist the spirit behind the confusion. You are learning the art of holy composure, the ability to remain calm when the atmosphere trembles. That composure terrifies darkness more than shouting ever could, because composure means confidence, and confidence means you've remembered who fights for you. Do not be surprised when spiritual opposition rises just before breakthroughs. The final resistance is often the fiercest because it knows the door is about to open. When you feel surrounded, it's often because heaven's reinforcements are already arriving. The clash intensifies when deliverance draws near. The Spirit wants you to know this. Pain is not proof that you're losing. It's the sound of transformation. Gold doesn't scream when refined, but it glows brighter after the fire. You are being purified, not punished. The whispers of fear may return, but you now know their origin. They come to test if you truly believe what God spoke. Every time you answer with faith, the lies lose strength. You are building endurance, not the kind that merely survives, but the kind that shines under pressure. Chosen one, take note of how far you've come. Once, a small storm would shake your peace. Now, even in conflict, you sense calm. Once, you questioned if God was near. Now, even in warfare, you feel His nearness. You are maturing in the unseen, and that maturity is your new armor. Understand this: the presence of warfare does not mean the absence of God. It means the presence of destiny. The more valuable your calling, the more violently it will be tested. But in every battle, heaven equips you. Chosen one, you have fought well. You've faced silence, deception, and warfare, and yet you still stand. But now, heaven begins to whisper strategy. There is an escape route, but not the kind that removes you from pressure. It's the kind that elevates you through it. The prophetic path is unfolding before you, one that cannot be seen with natural eyes, but must be discerned by spirit. You have prayed for doors to open, not realizing that some of them were walls meant to protect you. The escape God prepares is not always a way out. Sometimes it's a way through. You're not being pulled from the fire, you're being purified in it, refined into something that fire can no longer harm. The Spirit spoke through the Apostle Paul in the first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 13. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. This is your assurance. He will make a way. You may not see it now, but it's already forming. The walls that corner you are not cages, they are corridors. The frustration you feel is not confinement, it's redirection. Every closed door you've met lately has been guiding you toward divine precision. Chosen one, it's time to follow the prophetic trail. There are clues heaven has left for you, moments of confirmation, patterns that repeat, numbers that seem to appear at significant times. You've called them coincidences. But there are no coincidences for those who walk with destiny. Heaven speaks in patterns to those who listen in stillness. The escape begins with alignment. When you align your words, your thoughts, your habits with God's instructions, invisible, locks start clicking open, chains fall quietly. When obedience becomes your rhythm, sometimes you think you're waiting on God, but in truth, He's waiting on your willingness. You must let go of what can't travel where you're going. Some friendships will fade, not because they were evil, but because they were seasonal. Some dreams must die before the real vision can breathe. This is the painful beauty of the escape route it requires. Release before reward. When Lot's wife looked back, she turned to salt. The escape was there. The angels were guiding, but her heart was still in Sodom. You cannot move into promise while staring at the past. Heaven is not only rescuing you from danger, it's rescuing you from distraction. Think of the cocoon again, the dark, tight, silent place where the caterpillar waits. To an outside eye, it looks like a tomb, but inside, transformation is happening at the cellular level. The creature doesn't escape by breaking walls, it escapes by becoming something that no longer fits inside. That's what God is doing with you. You're not leaving the situation the same, you're emerging with wings. Chosen one, your way out is being formed in the unseen, and it requires your cooperation. Don't rush ahead. Don't force what God hasn't finished shaping. The same God who opened the Red Sea knows how to part what's in front of you, but He waits until obedience reaches maturity. You may feel the pressure increase before the breakthrough comes. The night will often grow darker just before dawn. That's not failure. That's the sign that your exit is near. The enemy always increases noise when heaven is opening a new door. Stay calm. The chaos you feel is only the sound of chains breaking. The Spirit is saying, "Follow my peace," not your panic. If it's forced, it's flesh. If it flows, it's faith. The escape route will always carry peace. Even when it's unfamiliar, God will not lead you into confusion. The path may be narrow, but it will never be chaotic. So, as you read this, let faith rise again. Trust that every obstacle, every delay, every detour is being arranged for your ultimate deliverance. The exit is not ahead, it's within. You escape the trap the moment your heart fully agrees with heaven's direction. Now, as a prophetic act of agreement, write the number 4,444 inches. The comments. It is a symbol of divine alignment, 4 corners of the earth, 4 winds of heaven, 4 steps of faith, surrender, obedience, endurance, and breakthrough. When you type 4,444, you declare, "I am aligned with God's escape plan." Heaven reads agreement like music. Every 4,444 echoes as a declaration that chosen ones are awakening to direction. No longer trapped, no longer lost. The escape has already begun. Chosen one, walk forward. Don't rush. Don't fear. The ground before you is sacred. It's where captivity ends and calling begins. Your deliverance will not just free you, it will lead others out too. Chosen one. The moment of escape does not mark the end of your journey. It marks the beginning of your assignment. Freedom is never the finish line for the chosen. It's the foundation for purpose. Heaven did not deliver you just so you could breathe easier. You were released so you could carry something back into the world, a mantle, a mission, a message that only your scars can authenticate. The word mantle sounds ancient, but it's more than cloth. It's calling made visible. It is the invisible weight of divine responsibility that rests on chosen shoulders. When Elijah's mantle fell upon Elisha, it wasn't just a symbol of power, it was an invitation to purpose, a transfer of heaven's trust. That same principle lives now. Your story, your pain, your restoration, they've all been weaving a mantle around you. You may not feel ready for it, but readiness has never been heaven's requirement. God doesn't call the prepared, He prepares the called. You've been trained in silence, refined in fire, strengthened through storms. The things you thought disqualified you have actually shaped you for the task ahead. According to what is revealed in the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 1, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives, and release from darkness for the prisoners." Your assignment will not always feel glamorous. Sometimes it will look like listening when others talk. Sometimes it will mean walking away when others chase applause. Other times it will call you to step forward when everything in you wants to hide. Carrying a mantle means surrendering convenience. You are no longer led by comfort, you are led by conviction. But do not be afraid of the weight you feel. It's holy. The heaviness of purpose is not oppression, it's evidence of value. God only lays weight upon what He intends to anchor, The mantle is not designed to crush you. It's meant to stabilize you so that winds of distraction no longer sway your direction. There will be moments when you question if you're worthy. You'll see others doing more, saying more, achieving faster, and the temptation to compare will whisper again. Resist it. Comparison is the language of insecurity, and insecurity is the language of hell. Your assignment doesn't need to look like anyone else's. It only needs to sound like obedience. Heaven does not measure by visibility, it measures by faithfulness. One quiet act of kindness in secret weighs more in eternity than 1,000 loud gestures done for applause. You may never stand on a platform, but your obedience could shift generations. Chosen one. You carry light that others need, but can't yet name. Some people are waiting for your obedience before they find their deliverance. You are someone's answered prayer, though they haven't met you yet. That is the mystery of divine timing. Your yes releases someone else's breakthrough. Do not despise small beginnings. Every mantle begins in hidden places. David was anointed in a field before he ever stepped into a throne room. The shepherd boy who fought lions in silence later faced giants in public. Likewise, your preparation in the unseen has been heaven's rehearsal for impact. But remember this, carrying the mantle means carrying humility. Authority without surrender becomes arrogance. You have been trusted with influence, not to exalt yourself, but to exalt the one who restored you. The more power heaven gives, the deeper your posture must bow. The greater the light, the lower the vessel must kneel. There will be times when the calling feels lonely. The path of the chosen is narrow, and few will understand it. You'll be misunderstood by those who mistake silence for weakness and humility for hesitation. Let them. Every true messenger is misjudged before they are recognized. Your validation will not come from men, it will come from fruit. Chosen one. Let your hands stay open. You were not chosen to hoard blessings, but to release them. Every gift God gives you is meant to flow outward through your words, your presence, your prayers. That is how the mantle multiplies. It is shared, not stored. The world is desperate for authenticity, for hearts that carry both power and purity. And that's exactly what you are becoming, a vessel that carries fire without burning out, grace without compromise, authority without pride. Carry your mantle with reverence. Guard it with prayer. Walk with courage. Heaven trusts you with more than favor. It trusts you with influence that cannot be corrupted by applause. Your assignment has begun. The same spirit that anointed prophets of old now rests upon you, not to make you impressive, but to make you impactful. You are not simply surviving faith, you are shaping history. Chosen one. As the mantle settles upon you, something else begins to shift people, places, patterns. You are stepping into what many call the separation season, the dividing line between who you were and who you are becoming. Heaven, in its mercy, begins to cut away what cannot continue with you. It feels like loss, but it's actually liberation. Do not mistake pruning for punishment. Every gardener knows that. To keep a vine fruitful, the branches must be trimmed. The pruning looks harsh from the outside, sharp tools, sudden removal, but without it, growth would strangle itself. God is not taking things from you. He's removing what would have choked your future fruit. It can feel cruel at first. The conversations that stop, the friendships that fade, the doors that close, each one leaves a small ache behind. You'll wonder if you did something wrong. But separation is never random for those who are chosen. It's heaven's way of protecting what's sacred inside you. We are reminded through the words of Jesus in the Gospel of John, chapter 15, verse 2. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. And every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. This is where maturity must rise. You can no longer chase what heaven is releasing. If you keep trying to resurrect expired connections, you'll delay your resurrection season. You cannot hold on to what God has already buried. There will be nights when the loneliness feels sharp, when silence sits heavy on your chest. But this emptiness is sacred space being cleared for new glory. The pruning hand of God never leaves without planting. What he removes with one hand, he replaces with the other, but not immediately, because he wants you to learn contentment in the gap. In this in-between, you will learn the purest form of faith, the kind that stands even when the crowd disappears, the kind that says, "Though none go with me, still I will follow." That song of surrender becomes your soundtrack in the quiet hours. Chosen one. Separation is not just about losing people, it's also about shedding patterns. There are ways of thinking, reacting, speaking, and striving that cannot fit where you're going. Heaven is detoxing your habits. You'll find yourself drawn to silence instead of argument, to prayer instead of panic, to peace instead of proving your worth. This is transformation taking root. Be gentle with yourself as the process unfolds. Growth often feels like grief. You will mourn what once felt familiar, even when it wasn't healthy. The flesh clings to comfort, but the spirit longs for completion. Let the longing lead you forward. The more you allow God to separate you from distractions, the clearer his voice becomes. The static fades. The fog lifts. You begin to see that what you thought was rejection was actually redirection. The exit of people you trusted wasn't to leave you alone, it was to leave space for divine alignment. And soon, new faces will appear, people whose spirits carry the same frequency as yours. You will recognize them not by their titles, but by their peace. Their presence will feel like prophecy fulfilled. These are covenant companions, not convenient ones. They are not here to take from you, but to walk with you. Until then, stand still in your pruning. Don't rush to fill the silence with substitutes. Don't reach backward when heaven is calling forward. The vine doesn't resist the gardener's hand, it yields. Trusting the wisdom that cuts also cultivates. Understand this truth. Pruning always precedes power. Before Jesus multiplied bread, he first broke it. Before oil flowed from the alabaster jar, the jar had to be shattered. Before resurrection came, the stone had to roll away. You are in that same holy sequence, breaking before blessing, separating before sending. The ache you feel right now is not abandonment, it's adjustment. You are being fitted for the next dimension of destiny. Heaven is tailoring your soul, removing excess fabric that would have snagged on future doors. Every tear shed in this season waters new roots. Soon, what felt like loss will reveal itself as pruning, and what felt like pruning will reveal itself as preparation. You will thank God for every door that closed, every person that left, every plan that crumbled, because without them, you would have never discovered who you really are. Chosen one. Do not fear the separation. It is proof that heaven is near. God is not subtracting your life, He's simplifying it. so that his glory can shine without obstruction. The branch that bends under his hand today will bear fruit tomorrow. Stay yielded. Stay trusting. The pruning knife is never cruel in the hands of a loving gardener. Chosen one. Look around. The pruning has done its work. The noise has lessened. The unnecessary weight has fallen away. And the air feels lighter now. You stand in a clearing between what was and what will be. And heaven whispers, "Now, rise." This is not the quiet of loss anymore. It's the silence before emergence. You have entered the hour of the marked ones, those who carry heaven's seal in a time when compromise spreads like wildfire. You are among the few who refused to bow when the world demanded conformity. You are not here by coincidence. You are part of a remnant chosen to ignite awakening wherever your feet touch the ground. The Spirit declared through the book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 32, "The people who know their God shall be strong and do exploits." That is your identity now. Strength is not in your muscles, but in your knowing. Exploits are not about fame, but about faithfulness. The marked ones don't need crowds to move mountains. They move them through conviction and courage. Chosen one. Imagine a forest after the fire. The ground is charred, the air thick with smoke. Yet beneath the ashes, life is stirring. Seeds that had lain dormant for years suddenly begin to sprout, awakened by heat. That's what heaven is doing with you. The fires that tried to consume you only triggered your hidden potential. There is a glow about you now, though you may not see it yet. When you walk into rooms, atmospheres shift, not because of your words, but because of your presence, because light recognizes light. You carry authority that wasn't learned, but earned through endurance. You are one of the marked. The world is darker. Yes, but that's why your existence matters even more. You are the lamp God refuses to let burn out. You've been lit for a reason: to guide, to warn, to warm, to reveal. The pressure you feel lately isn't punishment, it's purpose pressing from the inside out. Heaven has invested deeply in you. Every wound became wisdom. Every waiting season became oil. Every loss became language. You are now fluent in the dialect of deliverance, the voice that calls others out of the same caves you once escaped. There will be days when the enemy whispers, "You're not enough for this." Smile, because he's accidentally reminding you that you've been recognized. Hell doesn't target the irrelevant. When you feel resistance, know that it's the echo of your significance. Chosen one. You are being sent not to shout louder, but to shine clearer. You are the living proof that grace still works, that mercy still finds, that light still wins. You don't have to announce that you're chosen. Your endurance already did. Think of a lighthouse standing on a cliff. It doesn't chase ships. It doesn't sail into the storm. It simply stands, shining through rain and fog, steady and sure. That's your posture now. Your consistency will save more souls than your explanations ever could. And as this light spreads, remember, flames don't compete with each other. They combine. Your story will spark another. Your obedience will inspire another's courage. When you help someone else rise, your own fire burns brighter. This is how heaven's army grows, not through noise, but through nurture. If these words echo something inside you, if you feel that subtle pull of recognition, that warmth in your spirit, it's because heaven is confirming what you already sensed. You are part of this remnant. And when you like this message, it's not about algorithm, it's about agreement. It's a way of saying, yes, I am awake. No, when you share, imagine scattering seeds across dry soil. Each share is like rain over hearts that have forgotten their worth. You're not just sharing content, you're spreading clarity. Someone's turning point may begin because you decided to pass the light forward. And when you subscribe, think of it as building an altar, a steady place where words of fire continue to meet you. Not entertainment, but encounter, not content, but communion. This is how the chosen stay connected, how sparks become bonfires across nations. Finally, take a moment to reflect and leave a comment, your testimony, your reflection, even a single word of gratitude. You never know whose weary eyes will read it and find the courage to keep going. Sometimes one sentence of yours becomes another soul's survival line. Chosen one, lift your head. The pruning made room. The fire made strength. And now the light within you will guide many. You are not just surviving this generation, you are shaping it. You are one of heaven's marked ones. And your light is just beginning to rise. Chosen one. Before crowns are given, there is always a final battle, the one that happens inside. You've stood against storms, faced the whispers of darkness, and endured pruning from heaven's hand. But now you confront the greatest war of all, the battle within. It is quieter than the others. There are no thunderclaps, nor bias enemies, no visible weapons, just the echo of thoughts, memories, and emotions fighting for the throne of your heart. You have conquered external chaos, but now God asks you to conquer internal unrest. The war outside may bruise your body, but the war inside shapes your destiny. The Spirit spoke through the Apostle Paul in the letter to the Romans, chapter 7, verse 22. In my inner being I delight in God's law, but another law wages war within me. But the Spirit is teaching you how to silence that voice. You are not defined by what you feel, but by what you follow. Feelings fluctuate, but faith must stand. The power of transformation is not in denying the war, but in choosing the right general to lead it. When you let the Spirit govern your thoughts, peace becomes your armor. The final battle within is not about perfection, it's about surrender. You win not by fighting harder, but by yielding deeper. God is not asking for performance, He's asking for partnership. He doesn't want your perfection, He wants your permission to finish what He started. You will notice that this war often intensifies just before breakthroughs. The mind becomes noisy. Temptations resurface. Old patterns knock at your door. It's not regression, it's resistance. The enemy sends echoes of your past because he has no access to your future. When ghosts of failure return, it's proof that your destiny is near. Chosen one. The self within you that clings to control must die for the new life to reign. That is the meaning of take up your cross. It's not about suffering for suffering's sake. It's about surrendering the ego that resists transformation. The cross is where your will meets His, and your surrender becomes resurrection. This war inside also exposes wounds you thought were healed. Memory surface. Not to torment, but to be transformed. God brings pain back into view so He can touch it with light. Healing is never about forgetting. It's about remembering differently. What once triggered tears will soon trigger testimony. There are days when your emotions will not cooperate with your faith. You will feel nothing holy, nothing strong. Yet even then, heaven whispers, keep standing, because faith that stands in emptiness is faith at its purest form. When your mind says, I can't, but your spirit says, I will, the battle tilts toward victory. Think of a blacksmith shaping a sword. The metal must be heated, hammered, and cooled repeatedly before it's ready for war. If it resists the fire, it remains brittle. If it yields, it becomes unbreakable. That's what God is doing inside you. Every prayer, every trial, every tear has been hammering your spirit into strength. You are becoming something that will not bend under pressure. This inner battle will teach you the art of balance, strength with softness, boldness with humility, faith with wisdom. You'll learn that the greatest power is not shouting over fear, but sitting still in peace. You'll find yourself speaking gently to storms that once terrified you. That's not weakness, it's mastery. The mind is a battlefield, but the heart is a throne. You must decide daily who sits upon it. When fear tries to climb up, cast it down. When pride whispers, silence it with gratitude. When doubt enters, fill the room with worship. The throne of your heart must be occupied by peace, guarded by faith, and ruled by love. And slowly, the battle shifts. The noise grows quieter. The thoughts lose their power. You'll begin to notice stillness where chaos used to dwell. That's not complacency, it's victory. You have learned to host heaven within. Chosen one. This war was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to discipline you. God could have calmed your mind instantly, but instead, He chose to train you to rule it. For He is not raising survivors, He is raising kings and queens, rulers of their own spirit before rulers of nations. As you master the battlefield within, the world around you begins to bow to that same peace. You'll walk into rooms that once overwhelmed you and feel no fear. You'll face circumstances that once broke you and remain unmoved, because peace has taken the throne and the war has lost its voice. You are not just enduring, you are evolving. The final battle within is not your downfall, it's your coronation. The one who conquers self conquers everything. Chosen one. After the inner war comes the quiet, the kind of stillness that feels almost unreal. You wake one day and realize that the ground beneath you has stopped trembling. The chaos that once lived in your chest has turned into calm. The noise has gone, replaced by a silence that doesn't frighten you anymore. That silence is not emptiness, it is the sound of completion. You have walked the valley, endured the fire, faced the mirror, survived the pruning, and stood in storms meant to erase you. Yet here you are still breathing, still believing. What you carry now is not just survival, it is sacred strength. Heaven calls this moment crowning. The crown is not made of gold or jewels. It is invisible to human eyes, yet heavy with eternity's weight. It's woven from obedience, patience, and the silent yeses you whispered when no one was watching. It is the mark of one who overcame, not by might, but by surrender. The Spirit declares in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love Him." That promise is yours. You didn't just survive, you qualified. Every tear was a stone in your crown. every disappointment a gem. What others saw as suffering, heaven saw as shaping. The very weight that nearly crushed you has now become your authority. You are not who you were when this began. You've become a vessel of unshakable faith. Look at your journey. The silence that once frightened you became your teacher. The warfare that almost broke you became your training. The loneliness that felt like abandonment became your altar. Everything that was meant for ruin became raw material for glory. The crown you wear now was not given by men. It was forged by God Himself. But remember this, crowns are not for comfort, they are for calling. A true crown doesn't grant rest, it grants responsibility. You are now accountable for what you've learned, for the light you carry, for the grace that rebuilt you. The crown is both a symbol and a summons. It says, now that you know, go. Mola, your calling is not a destination, but a lifestyle. Every day you wake up still breathing is another chance to reflect heaven. Every conversation, every act of kindness, every word of truth is part of your ministry. You are the continuation of divine work in human form. And though your name may never echo across nations, your obedience will echo through eternity. God measures legacy not by how many notice you, but by how many are changed because you existed. The smallest act done in His name outlasts the grandest act done without Him. Chosen one. The road ahead will not be without challenges. But the difference now is this. You know who walks beside you. Fear will still whisper, but you'll recognize its tone. Temptation will still knock, but it will find no room. The old you that used to panic has become the new you that prays. That transformation is the true miracle. You have become a lighthouse in a storming world. You won't always see the faces. Your light saves. But heaven records every rescue. Every time your faith inspires another, your crown gleams brighter. This is how eternal reward grows in quiet. Consistent faithfulness. There will be moments when you feel the weight of this calling. You'll sense the fatigue that comes with spiritual responsibility. When that happens, remember, the crown is not meant to rest on your strength, but on His. The one who crowned you also sustains you. The crown is a reminder, not of pressure, but of partnership. And so, the journey comes full circle. The same God who called you out of danger now sends you back into the world as a deliverer. The same hands that once lifted you now extend through you. You are no longer just the rescued, you are the rescuer. When you speak, words carry weight. When you walk, atmospheres respond. You have become the embodiment of restoration, a living testimony that what was broken can still be blessed. Do not let the simplicity of this moment fool you. Crowning rarely comes with ceremony. Heaven's coronations are often quiet, no trumpets, no crowds. Just a deep knowing in your soul that says, it is finished. You are ready. End quote. Chosen one. Wear your crown humbly. Let it remind you of the road that forged it, the tears, the silence, the endurance. Every scar is now a jewel. Every wound a window for light to pass through. Walk forward as one who has been tested and trusted. Carry the fragrance of victory with gentleness, the strength of authority with compassion. For your crown is not just your reward, it's your assignment to keep shining, keep serving, keep loving, until the day you meet the one who placed it on your head. You are crowned not because you conquered the world, but because you conquered yourself. That is the greatest victory of all. Chosen one. Take a deep breath. You've reached the end of this journey. But in truth, it's only the beginning of a greater one. What began as a whisper became a calling. And now you stand crowned, restored, and radiant. The story written through your pain is about to become someone else's map out of darkness. If this message stirred something within you, if at any moment you felt seen, strengthened, or reminded of who you are, don't let it fade into memory. When you like this, it's not just appreciation, it's affirmation that you heard heaven's heartbeat. When you share, you're not just spreading words, you're passing light into hands that tremble in the dark. And when you subscribe, you are saying, I will walk with this fire, I will not let it die. Now, finally, leave a comment below. Tell what part spoke to you, or simply type a word of gratitude. You never know whose weary eyes will find hope through your reflection. Together, we become a chorus of chosen ones, lit candles forming a sky of faith. This is your moment. The world needs your light. Rise, shine, and let heaven's story continue through you.